My name is Anyier Yuol, and this is my Thrive journey. My parents were from South Sudan. They moved to Kakuma refugee camp where I grew up for the first 10 years of my life. The refugee camp was the only place I ever called home. My whole life was there in terms of friendship, family, school, everything that I ever knew. And then in 2003, I was granted a visa to migrate to Australia. Arriving in Australia was quite challenging for me. From building to lifestyle to culture, it took me some time to find my feet. But as I settled in Australia, I was very grateful and determined to make the most of every opportunity. After finishing my first degree, I wanted to try something new, and I decided to join a beauty pageant. As I kept competing in Australian biggest pageant, it was something special for me because I was thriving and I was doing more. But I felt a sense of loss. I felt like I was the only person representing myself. I was always inserting myself in spaces where African women or women of colors were not well represented. Australia has always claimed to be multicultural, but when it comes to representation of women of colors in the fashion industry, I wasn't seeing that. So this really motivated me to launch Miss Sahara. We celebrate the representation of African women in the fashion industry. During this time, I realized there was more needed of diversity and inclusion for other minority groups in Australia. This led me to seek support from Thrive. I approached them and said that I had recognized there was more diversity needed in the fashion industry and that I wanted to launch a modeling agency that will have that representation. I needed that business capacity to run an agency. I wanted the knowledge behind it. I wanted to get a mentor that can support me and deliver these projects. So Thrive came in at the right time and provided that support that I needed. I now proudly run my own modeling agency called Anyier Model Management. I represent all different backgrounds, and we celebrate the diversity and inclusivity of all minority groups in Australia. It's part of my journey and mission to start a global movement where the standard of beauty are all inclusive and reflects the diversity and beauty of people around the world. We are all beautiful, and it was time to show it.